Would you like to beam me up, Mr. Scotty?
How many Star Trek fans are going to be upset with me over the fact that I think I've only seen like 2 Star Trek episodes, but I know that term even though I never actually saw it live?
Well, it just depends if they're still alive.
There's one of them that we both mutually know.
Because Star Trek is so fucking old that I'm surprised any fans are still alive.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is today's hot take, that Star Trek is pretty much irrelevant.
I'm sorry for blowing out everyone's ears. Oh, what a day. Hello, and welcome back to Corks and Trollers, the show where we pair pixels to liquids. My name is the Gizmo Gadget. I was like, the Tech Gadget? No. And joined me is a fresh as hell Mr. Cheese, the counselor.
Yes, I am extra sharp cheddar today, my good sir. I am no aged Gruyere. Oh no, I am extra sharp cheddar.
I love it. I love it already.
Spicy, cheesy, and pungent is the way to go. Apparently
I'm a little spicy today. Apparently I'm a little blasted. And,
he ain't blasted. He's what the young folk call turnt. Turnt.
I feel like I had it together, and then I was just like, I got excited that we were recording, and then I looked up and I saw these bright lights, and I'm like, Jesus, am I drunker than I thought?
Oh, his little ducks were in a row, then out of nowhere they just all skedaddled, and it's like, oh fuck.
Oh man, now it feels warm in here. But anyways, let's continue on with the show. Victor, what is the pairing of the episode that we have today?
Oh, so this is going to be a very interesting one that is kind of controversial. So that is Mr. Andy Quady's Electra Red Moscato. So this little wine is full of quirks and wonders. So Mr. Andy Quady, I've had the chance to meet him at a few tastings before. He is the epitome of quixotic. When you meet him, he's a very nice guy, don't get me wrong. It's just, you could tell there's something. And it's not a bad thing. It's just he's a very interesting person. And he makes great wines. Now, what's even more interesting is the fact that Quady makes a few different things. So they make Moscato, the Electra Moscatos. They also make the Salt of the Earth Moscatos that are distributed out on the East Coast. And they also make something called Via Vermouth, which is really well-known quality vermouth. And then they make fortified dessert wines known as Elysium. And then they also have their special little ports. That is what Mr. Andy Quady was originally famous for. So back in the 70s, I think mid to late 70s when he started Quady, the emphasis was on port. And back then, that's what he did. And I think maybe going into the mid 80s, that's when he discovered, Muscat. And boom, Electra was born.
But Mr. Victor, where was it born?
Madera, California.
Our neighbors.
It is our neighbors, yes, without disclosing fully where we are located. But yeah, we are in Central California, and Madera is, So Quady is a pretty well-known winery around here. And my favorite thing, especially in this general area, when we used to work at our mutual place of employment, I always liked, even though we weren't supposed to sell this, I always liked selling this to people that drank Stella Rosa. Because this is technically 1, local, 2, higher quality, 3, a lot better.
Yeah.
And about the same price. So it's like, what is there to lose, you know?
Yeah. On the rare instances where I sold at this undisclosed location, I would be like pushing the ones we had to, and I'd be like, and they'll just be like, yeah, I don't know. And I'd be like, in my head, I'm like, all right, time to point at the one everyone buys. I'm like, but I wouldn't be upset about it. I'd be like, but I would be like, okay, well, you sure as hell want this one. They're like, I sure do.
So Quady has a really good following around here, which I'm pretty happy about. And also, Darren, the winemaker, is an absolute joy. I mean, he is one of the kindest, most knowledgeable winemakers out there. Mm-hmm. So that's why Quady is near and dear to my heart, but they also make really good vermouth for Negronis and a whole bunch of other alcoholic beverages.
Now, Mr. Victor, who painted this painting that's on the label?
Ooh, that I don't know. I am not a famous patron of the arts. Would you like to enlighten us?
Artisan Phillips.
Artisan Phillips?
Artisan Phillips, right there in the last sentence.
Oh, wow. That really is artisan.
Artisan.
Arty? Art.
Hey, Artie.
Aardvark.
Can you paint my label? Very nice.
So let's get some in your glass so we can cool you down, Mr. Victor. Oh, and my favorite part here is this little thing right here. No corkscrew necessary. Perfect picnic wine. Oh, I was about to put it in there. I was about to be like, oh, lordy.
May not be as romantic, but man, is that clicking of the seal breaking quite satisfying.
Oh, it is. It is. So this is one of those few fizzy, sparkling, sweet wines that I can drink like juice. Just because it's very fragrant. This truly is the essence of muscat, but without it being cloying and without it being like just discombobulated is the best way to describe that. Mm-hmm. Oh, kampai.
Kampai.
Oh, that tastes like juice.
It's just straight juice.
But tell me it's not good.
This is straight up like those pomegranate, grape, apple like blend cocktail juices.
Yes, it doesn't even taste like alcohol, does it?
No, not even a little bit. And yet, what do we got here? 8, 9%? What do we got here? Nope, 5.5. Okay.
Even better. You can drink more of it. Now, a little disclosure here. So, as much as I love Quady, in greater emphasis to your health, I do need you guys to know that one 5 fluid ounce glass has 25 grams of sugar. That is just naturally what muscat does.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But tell me this is not delicious, Mr. Victor.
Victor, I am unable to tell you that it's not delicious. That would be a straight lie.
It's so juicy.
I would go on record and face the judge and they'd be like, you fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, it's so juicy. It's so fragrant. It's so delectable. I mean, this is a wine that I've had many a times with like barbecue pulled pork sandwiches, and it is a dream. Anything that involves salty, spicy, or sweet, this wine is up for the challenge. And because it's low alcohol and high sugar, or high in sugar, it pairs really, really well with any kind of like blisteringly hot, spicy food. So think of your Thai, Vietnamese, Hmong dishes that have a bunch of chilies. This is perfect for that. But it's also really good with cheese. Any kind of, like in today's case, extra sharp cheddar, or brie, or camembert, or de de Bourgogne. It doesn't fucking matter. It tastes good with everything. This, my friends, is the local version of what Riesling is in Germany. It is not Riesling. It will never be Riesling, but it fits the bill of what Riesling is at a far better budget. So price-wise, this could be found anywhere between $7 to $12 a bottle.
Oh, yes. Easily. And if you find it higher.
And ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Look at that. Look at that.
Are they looking at the legs? No, I was kidding.
This wine is scrumptious. So, Mr. Andy Quady, Mr. Darren, thank you for making this delicious little bottle of wine. Yeah. And no, it's not sponsored, by the way, but do sponsor us, please.
You can send as many bottles as you want.
Oh, yes.
We ain't going to complain. Especially, these ports look kind of cool. So.
Ooh, those ports can age for a long-ass time. So, Quady ports from like the 70s, 80s, and even the early 90s are fantastic.
But, yes, Mr. Victor. You know, funnily enough, as I'm thinking of pairing this bottle to a piece of media, or like little like vague little companion episode of where we play video games would actually go very well with this. But for the sake of keeping it original, I'm going to think of something else to pair with this bottle. I think.
You know what would have been really funny? That video game you had me had me watching. What was it? Last episode. The guy's in his boxers and shirtless and is dealing with a wench who doesn't want him or something.
Oh, what did I make you play?
I didn't play it. I watched you play it, and I was all like, "Oh my lord!" It was a very kinky Valentine's religion weird game.
Oh yes, we were playing.
Was that a burp or was that a cough?
It was both. We were playing Catherine. Oh, which is like the promiscuous, like. Oh
God. Nothing. Let's cut that part out.
Wait, you brought it up. That's the name of the game. I didn't say nothing.
Oh my god.
The name of the video game is Catherine Full Body. It's not my fault. Developers name things. All right. But let's see.
Damn, that one's good.
The video game I'm going to pair with this one, this Richter, with this Quady Red Electra, is going to be a delightful little game, a fun little game. That honestly may be a little hard to gain access to, depending on whether or not you currently owned a PlayStation Vita or a PlayStation Portable.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't own those things and you have more powerful things, I'm pretty sure it's easily recoverable. But man,
for the people in the back, what was that R word?
replicable.
Replicable. At first, I was all like replicable.
Ridiculous. And that video game is a fun little video game. Fun, delightful, sweet, light, refreshing. Called Loco Roco.
I like the name already.
Loco Roco is a side-scrolling platforming 2D game. But its gimmick from similar sounding games in the genre like the Marios of the world is that you control your character with physics by tilting the entire screen, not physically, but tilting the screen with the buttons and jumping, and that's your only ways of movements. Physics takes over the rest of where far it goes, how hard you jump, and just how angled the level is. And I'm going to pull up some gameplay for Victor's sake, but for you lovelies, I have the visualizer down here. And yeah, it's a wonderful platformer. It's a little hard to wrap your head around at first, but the beginning, like handful of handful of levels, easily introduce you to the game. So let me type this up real quick. Loco Roco. For the PSP. I spelled it wrong. Gosh darn it.
Gosh darn it, y'all.
Let me mute this and let Mr. Victor. Oh no, ads. Terrible.
Oh, McDonald's has gone so expensive as of late.
It has. It's like not even close to worth it anymore.
It's not. It's like, a Big Mac combo's like $13. Like, what the fuck? I could get a whole ass burger from Red Robin for that.
It's like the freaking. It's like the. Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Maybe I should put a little bit of music so you can get the.
What does this remind me of? Like A Million Ways to Die.
That's good. That's a good comparison. The visuals are quite close. So yeah, so you tilt the entire screen to make the character roll around, and it's delightful. The music's delightful. The visuals are crisp, light, refreshing.
How do you die?
Very sweet. There are very few obstacles that actually hurt or kill you. It's mostly, in fact, I'm not actually sure you die at all. But the objective is to eat these little fruits, so you grow bigger and bigger. And you want to, because there are moments in the game where being big and heavy isn't advantageous, and you need to. I wonder if he'll do it soon. Come on, you'll get there. Here we go. Too big to enter that small thing. You gotta press circle to break into little Loco Rocos. Woo!
What in the world? And then you combine again?
And you can hold circle to recombine. So being larger lets you be more bouncy, jump higher, get through levels quicker.
Why do I feel this is like the transverse colon that I'm traveling through?
Yeah, and up in this top left corner is the number of little Loco Rocos you can break into. And yeah, and your objective is just to eat as much fruit as possible and get through the level.
What a fucking life. Why does this remind me of the pink marshmallow from Dragon Ball Z?
Oh, Majin Buu.
I was gonna say Boomy, but Boomy's avatar is the
It's not quite heavy enough to fall in there. Maybe you need one more piece of fruit.
Oh, who's this guy?
He's like the guy who like helps you. Oh, I almost forgot about this. So the thing you just grabbed is a collectible. It's basically like in between levels, you have a little home, and you can decorate it with the things that you find in each level.
What?
So you can find like little couches, little TVs, little like references to things, and you can like just like the video game Sims, you can build your own little house. That you
So
hang out
what
in
is
every
this
level.
little ball thing?
That you're controlling?
Yeah. Is it an orange or is it?
It's Loco Roco. It's a.
What the fuck is a Loco Roco?
That's what you are.
Wow. So this thing just eats fruit and gets big and then divides?
You know what else eats fruit, gets big and divides?
Bacteria?
Smashing some grapes to make this amazing wine.
Yeah, yeast! There we go.
Yeast.
Yeast.
Fantastic. Amazing.
Extraordinary. Just pure
What do you think, Mr. Victor?
perfection.
What do you think about my pairing, Mr. Victor?
This is one of the most joyful pairings I think you've ever done. As in, looking at this game, I'm just like, okay, ultimate stress-free game that I can literally just open up a Quady and just tilt the screen, and almost the drunker I am, the better I do. And it's like, why not? You know, like,
Look at this.
for a gamer like me, or not a gamer like me, let me take that back. Please don't crucify me, gaming community. I'm not a gamer. I've never claimed to be one. Or a very newbie novice like me. The risk here is very low.
Yeah.
There is nothing to kill me. There's no timer to stress me out. There's nothing I can really fall off. There's nothing I can fuck up. I can only just get better. So it's perfect.
Yeah. There's nothing to stress you out. There's nothing to kill you.
Yeah.
And you don't have to stress out because whatever you eat, it'll go great, especially if it's spicy.
It's a fruit. You're literally a little Loco Roco.
There you go.
Look at this, Mr. Victor.
And look at this. The only thing you're judged on is how much you've gotten through the level. Like, this is only for you to be like, oh, I want to beat my personal best.
This is like a more wholesome version of Angry Birds.
There you go. How's that game, by the way? Is it getting worse?
Oh, no. It's well, I mean, the screen is fucked, but I mean, aside from the fact Angry Birds is perfect. But yeah, no, I think this is a far and beyond excellent pairing.
Very nice. Mr. Victor, that is a pairing for you. But before we end the show...
Oh, and also, before we end the show, I got another interjection for you.
Oh.
Am I allowed to call Mr. P name to ask him a gaming question? Because he had a gaming question for you.
For me?
Yes.
Live on the show?
Well, not live on the show, but he did ask me, and I'm like, oh, he probably plays that. And he was just like, oh, but it's like a new DLC thing. And I'm like, the thing about Victor, he knows everything about video games. Hell, a game could be released tomorrow, and he already knows about it. That's how much he knows about it. So let me call Mr. P name here. Am I allowed to call Mr. P name to ask him a gaming question?
Live on the show?
Well, not live on the show, but... And we'll keep him anonymous.
Live on the show. This is going to be great.
Let's see. Where is Mr. P name?
P name for fans keeping track. Is the person's computer I remotely fixed or helped fix or gave advice on?
Something like that. I already forgot. Something about CPUs and GCUs.
Oh, come on. I know you're hanging out.
P name. I'm going to try one more time.
Everyone knows it's incredibly important when you call twice. If the camera's shaking, my cat just loves hanging out next to the tripod. Very responsible, very professional.
I think he actually may indeed be busy.
Wow.
Which is sad.
Too busy for a video game question. Do you happen to know what the question already is?
No. So he asked me about it just out of like literally the blue. He was just like, hey, do you know Victor has played blah, 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 blah? And I wasn't even paying attention, to be honest. I was just like, of course he does. And then he's all like, oh, because, you know, like it's all the hoopla about some new DLC or something like that. And I'm like, and he was like, do you think he's played it already? And I'm like, he's already probably past that level. Little did I know that Mr. Victor has indeed not, because the game wasn't even released yet or had just recently been released. And then I'm like, yeah, you know, but I'll check in with him. And lo and behold, I already forgot the name of the game.
Just by the very small hints that you've given me, the only thing I can think of is that Destiny has a new DLC coming out.
It might have been that one.
And it's a pretty popular enough game that that average Joe, not that Mr. P name's average Joe, would know. Would probably heard of it.
Destiny. Before. I saw there was a new release for a Diablo something.
Diablo? I know almost nothing about other than that you really want to play it for some reason.
Yeah, I want to get my ass kicked by that game.
We'll make it happen one day.
I mean, I already got my ass kicked on what's it, fucking Toon Wars?
Toon Wars.
What game did we play that one time? That I got my ass handed to?
Man, I can't recall.
But anywho, so let's go back to Mr. Victor.
Yes. So the previous week when I needed a little bit more time to prepare for this episode, I regaled you a tale of some interesting video game and tech industry lawsuits.
Yes.
Because now that I have a lawyer friend, disclosure, nothing Victor says is legal advice.
No, and I'm not a lawyer. He's not talking about me.
That like now I think about lawsuits more often. Like I already kind of did before because it's hilarious to read them sometimes. Mm-hmm. But now it's hilarious to read even boring ones.
It can be very joyous at times.
But I was regaling to tell Mr. Victor that I received an email from Spotify, of all people.
Yes, of that little stupid
that
music player thing, right? Remote.
That the Spotify car thing, which is a glorified Bluetooth controller for your phone, to which your phone is supposed to be connected to your car, and only if your car is so old that it doesn't have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto or any of the somewhat modern things comes with a car screen. That way it's easy, it's safer and easier and a little bit more fun to operate your vehicle. I was like, oh, that's perfect for someone like Nicole or my friend's older cars, and I like tech things anyways. But
so you bought two of them.
So when I first saw those $90, I said no. But when they knocked it down to $30 because it didn't sell well, I went yes. I bought two of them. Years later, I get an email saying like, hey, we're discontinuing the Spotify car thing. And in my head, I was just like, well, obviously that just means that they're not going to update it or they're not going to support it. And if they get hacked by hackers off the dark web, then that's no longer their responsibility, whatever. It doesn't matter because I get to keep using it. No. The language is we're going to deliberately send an over-the-air update that makes it so you cannot use it any longer.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
And it's just like, isn't it easier and more cost-effective to just not send an update, to just leave it alone?
Yep.
Just nip it in the bud and be like, oh,
I don't know.
I don't have to pay for that no more. But apparently it costs money for this thing to be connected. I can't see how. I honestly can't see how, because it talks to your phone, not any servers. But anyways, we'll leave that for the nerds, the Uber nerds. So I go, wow, that sounds really weird. And I went on Reddit to see if anyone else felt the same way I did, and everyone is livid.
Yeah.
Out of their minds, to the point where not one, not two, not three, but 4 people who claim to be lawyers saying, let's start a class action lawsuit.
Sounds about right.
And like, I'm like reading around. I don't really interact. I mostly lurk Reddits.
Same.
And I think to myself, well, everyone's advice, including the said be lawyers, are just like, try to get your refund. If you can't, then we have more grounds. Try to do this, and then we'll have more grounds. Try to do blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. So I'm emailing people. I'm emailing like the CEO of Spotify. I'm emailing the customer support. And I'm like saying that you shouldn't do this. It causes e-waste. You should give us refunds instead. You should open source software. If you really want to throw your hands up and like back away, just let us mess with it.
Yeah.
And blah, 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 blah. None of those to avail. So I was like, okay, I'll get my refund back. And long story short, I successfully got my refund.
Oh, now how cumbersome was it to get that refund?
I waited a few days because the early reports of people on the Reddit were being just like, you basically have to arm wrestle them. And their response is just like, can you send me very detailed bank details so we can just send it directly to you? And everyone's just like, that sounds sketchy. I waited until everyone was just like, that's weird. I only needed to give screenshots. And that was the green light in my head to be like, I might have an easier time. And lo and behold, all they wanted was a screenshot. They don't even like question it. I just go, here's a screenshot of my old email. And they go, well, not my email, but a receipt in my email. And they go, cool, here you go. For all they know,
Good for you, Spotify. That's the way that things should be done.
it just makes me laugh because it's like, what if I screenshot someone else's email? Who knows? But all the information there is legit. It's tied to my Spotify account, so it's easy to tell I'm lying. Anyways, and I just thought, this is so funny. I should tell Mr. Victor, like, because everyone wants to class action them. Everyone wants them, not just Spotify, but companies from stopping doing things like this, where they sell a thing and then backtrack so hard that they don't even want you to use it anymore. It's like, why'd you sell in the first place?
Yeah, I would be absolutely livid. So let me give you an analogy. So it would be like if I went and bought a car that was completely electric, right? And it was operated electronically. And let's for a fact just assume that all technical things are fine. There's no technical issues. One day, that car manufacturer decides to say, nah, we don't want to do this anymore.
Nope.
And guess what? You spent, what would it be, $18,000 for this car. And now, even if you wanted to drive it, guess what? You can't. Not only did they pretty much discontinue all software for the car, they actually implemented stuff so you wouldn't be able to use it. Now, when you originally bought that car, did you not buy it thinking that you would be able to use this car and that this car was your property the moment you paid it off? Yeah. And then at that point, I can do whatever the fuck I want with it. If I want to drive it, if I want to crash it, if I want to, I don't know, use it to further the research cancer, whatever, I can do whatever the hell I want with it. But the moment that company, after I purchased it, says, no, it's still our property, we're going to, deactivate it and you can't do anything about it. Oh, I'd be calling up lawyers left and right saying, motherfuckers, try me. I want this. So those are my 2 cents there. That's what I would do if I was in that person's position or in your position. Now, if they said, oh, yeah, you know what? We fucked up. Here's your $18,000. I'd be like, fine, whatever. I'm still upset. I'm never going to buy from you again. But it's remedied.
That's right. That's right.
Now, if they were giving me the runaround saying, no, all sales are final, blah, 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 I'd be like, huh, okay, let's tango.
It's so funny. And it's funny that we both strongly feel that way, because I'm agreeing with everything you said. And yet, you're surprised every single time I tell you that video games act this way all the time. There's a news story not too long ago, I think it's like 4 days old, where there was no problem. Just a Steam user, Steam, for people who don't know, is a digital storefront to buy video games on your PC. Some random customer had like a very curious question, chatted up Steam support and went, hey, interesting question. What do I do? What happens to my video games in my library and the thousands and thousands of dollars I spent when I die? And without skipping a beat, that tech support person, who was just an employee, who knows if it's actually Steam's policy, is just straight up just like, oh, well, you lose those games forever because you're just dead. And
the fuck I do.
And it's just like, that's weird. I can't give it to my brother, my dad, my friends. Like that. It's like, no. They're like, nope. It's tied to your emails, tied to your account. You can't transfer. It's not transferable.
Really? Okay. So if I had a TV that was, I don't know, deeded to me and I died, that means that no one else can have that TV? What happens to that TV? It's out there. It needs to be used.
So
I would love to follow up with that Steam thing just to see how it is. Send me the link to that. I really do want to keep tabs on that. Because that's an interesting one, because that goes into, I don't know if that would be internet rights. Like, how do you assign ownership to a non-tangible?
A lot of the industry, especially in tech and video games, tend to think that non-tangibles are licenses and not ownership. And that's pretty much how I believe the way they worded it too was, can I put my Steam account in my will? And they're just like, well, no, because it's not transferable. Those are licenses, and licenses are not transferable.
I have a feeling that a lawyer would have a field day with that. Because I don't necessarily... Oh, P-Name is calling.
Oh, P-Name.
P-Name. Mr. P-Name, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. How about yourself? yourself?
Not too bad. I am here with Mr. Victor. Mr. Victor, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. How about yourself? Not too bad. How about yourself? Not too bad. How about yourself?
Not too bad. I am here with Mr. Victor.
doing, Victor?
I'm doing well. Welcome to the show.
What show?
We're recording our show.
What?
We're recording our podcast, our very popular, very, very well esteemed podcast.
Yeah, but don't worry. That's why we're calling you P-Name.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, Mr. P-Name, I have a question for you. You asked me, I think it was either yesterday or today, if Mr. Victor had played a game. What was the name of that game?
Destiny 2.
Oh,
Victor got it right. Okay, Mr. P-Name, let me tell you. On literally less than 15 minutes ago, I told Victor, so Mr. P-Name asked me a question about a video game pertaining to you. And he said, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, I already forgot. It was something about some DLC. And I just told Mr. P-Name that...
That's literally the only hint I had.
Yeah, I told Mr. P-Name that Mr. Victor plays all the video games in the world, like all of them. He knows all about everything and whatever, like I'm pretty sure he's played it. I don't know where that conversation ended, Mr. P-Name.
You said he was probably very good at it.
Yeah. And literally about 13 minutes ago, I was rehashing this conversation to Mr. Victor, and he was all like, based on the few little facts that I have, I'm going to say it's Destiny. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, the final shape, baby.
That's right.
Except the servers aren't working, so I'm currently getting booted out.
You're getting booted out?
The servers are like taking a fat dump right now.
Interesting. Yeah, that would be a more Mr. Victor technical question, because I really don't understand the logistics of that.
Oh, it's on the company side.
But anywho, Mr. P-Name, so I just wanted to call you to let you know that Mr. Victor guessed the name of that game literally off of like 2 basic facts.
I know, I could have been talking about Elden Ring too.
Yeah, the DLC's coming out too, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, apparently me just saying that it was a recently downloaded DLC thingy, that's all he needed to know.
He's a smart man.
Well, anywho, Mr. P-Name, you have yourself a lovely evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. So,
I'll take my title of video game god now.
let's not call you the video game god. Let's call you the video game Exodia. Because once Victor is in the realm, nothing can stop him. Except Mako, that is. Mako is the...
It's testing my patience right now.
Mako is the kryptonite to Mr. Victor.
All right. Well, that's the show, I think.
That is the show. What a toasty, lovely show.
I don't know if Mr. P-Name interrupted us, but either way, I think it was a good one anyways.
I think it was.
Now, lovely viewers, if you appreciate the things that we've heard and seen and would like to tip your bartender,
Mahogany.
yes, lay your shillings down on the mahogany. That's ko-fi.com/course-controllers. If you create magic, any magic, I don't even care if you're a literal wizard, you can email us
Or a warlock.
podcast@speaky.net and invite us out to your wineries, your distilleries, your game studios, and hopefully someone's not so busy that we can interview and be like, what is wine?
Right. All right.
Is wine a liquid or is it wine a mindset?
Or is wine a lifestyle? Boing.
Only you can know. And of course, please support the show. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends who might be interested in a very, very pleasant, literally no alcohol to be tasted Quady Red. They might like this episode.
And also tell your Stella Rosa drinking friends about Quady.
I know.
And thank us later.
I have so much Stella and people walk right by it to get to this guy right here.
Yep, this is the king of the sweets.
Bye-bye.
Alrighty, bye-bye everybody. Oh, airbender, waterbender, earthbender, Fire Nation. I don't know.